So, good afternoon, distinguished members of the Commission, academic supervisors, dear graduates. So, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to today's Bachelor's Dissertation Defense session. This important academic event marks the final stage of our students' undergraduate studies and provides them with an opportunity to present the result of their research work. So today our first graduator, Muratova Zulfiya Davlet Muratovna, and the theme of your qualification paper is analysis of epistolary discourse subject in communicative paradigms. And your scientific advisor is Uteshwa Zelenko Nikolaevna, PhD docent. So, Zulfiya, you may start. Yes, you may start.
Honorable Chairman, esteemed members of committee and faculty members, good afternoon. My name is Muratova Zulfiya. Today I am honored to present my graduation qualification paper entitled Analysis of Epistolary Discourse Subject Structure in Communicative Paradigms. My research analyzed written letters, not just tools for just sharing facts, but as a dynamic linguistic space where writers construct their identity and manage social relationships. Research framework. Even in today's digital world, written communication remains highly relevant to modern linguistics. The object of my research is epistolary discourse in various settings, while the subject focuses on the specific linguistic mechanisms used to shape the writers and the recipients. Our main aim is to analyze how the structure adapts across and the recipient across different environments, focusing heavily on English and Creole traditions. Theoretical foundations. Our study stems on the three major linguistic pillars. First, Benven's theory of insuation shows that the persona in a letter is always a strategically constructed version of the self. Second, politeness of and face theory explains that since letters lack real-time feedback, every word is chosen to preserve the reader's dignity. Finally, critical discourse analysis shows how social status dictates what the writer can or cannot say. And core subject components. Every letter's interaction is built on two core pieces. On one hand, we have the sender's self-construction, where the writer establishes authority and or closeness by choosing specific pronouns and emotional tense. On the other hand, we have the incredible addressing, which is the mental model of the recipient created by the writer. We say this directly in opening, ranging from an intimate "my dears" or "my dears" to a formal "dear sir." And the five communicative paradigms. Subject structures change completely depending on social settings. We categorize this into five major paradigms. Interpersonal letters focus on intimacy and shared vocabulary. Persuasive letters use polite hedging for requests. Institutional correspondence suppresses the personal I using passive language. Literary letters operate in fiction and digital communication collapses the time gap, making text sound much closer to spoken speech. And slide 6. Cross-linguistic linguistic comparison. A core element of our thesis is the cross-cultural comparison between English and Kartalpak letter writing traditions. First, Kartalpak formal correspondence is historically rooted in Islamic epistolary norms. Openings like the Bismillah formula place was subject under a shared spiritual framework, which contrasts with the secular style of modern English. Second, classical Kartalpak letter writing is deeply tied to the oral epic poetry tradition, inheriting its rhythmic structures. Comparative analysis matrix. To highlight the linguistic differences clearly, Kartalpak grammatically separates social hierarchy through the strict pronoun contrast between cis and sen, while English use only you. Furthermore, English styles evolved out of administrative manuals, while Kartalpak styles blend for rhetorical with native epic poetry in modern digital space. Kartalpak speakers actively code switch between Kartalpak, Russian, and Uzbek to express complex identities. Applied and pedagogical implications. The practical value of this research covers three key areas. In pedagogy, it helps improve how English writing is taught by helping students master politeness strategies. In translation studies, it offers clear guidelines for translating complex honor files and cultural opening between English and Kartalpak. Lastly, it provides a model to analyze modern multilingual digital chat corpora. And conclusion. In conclusion, our research proves that while letter writing is an ancient practice, it remains exceptionally flexible. The linguistic choices made between senders and recipients serve as a direct mirrors of human society, showing how we define who we are through the written word. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I am now ready to answer to your questions.
What is epistolary tradition?
Firstly, thank you for your questions. Firstly, the means of epistolary is letter sending person, and epistolary tradition. Letter is come from ancient period to nowadays, like telegram chats and emails. It is
Epistolary tradition.
yes.
This is epistolary tradition. You have just analyzed in two languages, yes?
Yeah.
And English, so ask this question.
Difference.
Example.
Example.
Yes. And
In Kartalpak language, people send the letter. They start with the religious, religious words like Bismillah or other words. And in English, people just direct send the letter.
okay. Now, what is digital code switching and how did you convey it according to your handouts?
Digital code. Digital it means
Digital code switching. In your first speech, you have mentioned about it.
digital it is letter like email or telegram chat. When internet switch off, it is the lack of the between связано.
Well, thank you, Zulfia. Well, what can you say about the novelty of your research work? Novelty. Yeah. Novelty. In introduction given, in your introduction, you may find from the introduction.
Introduction.
Yeah, in introduction given. Well, what scientific novelty? What is a novelty? Scientific novelty. Is it visible for you? Well,
First, a systematic combination of English and Kyrgyz epistolary styles based on communicative paradigms. And
organizing framework for the analysis of epistolary subject structure. Thank you. Take your seat.
So, review for Journal Affairs qualification paper was given by PhD Associate Professor Kalobayeva Madina. She had mentioned that the bachelor's thesis analysis of epistolary discourse subject structure and communicative paradigm is relevant, logically organized, and practically useful. It shows the author's understanding of epistolary discourse, communicative paradigm, subject structure, and pragmatic interpretation. The thesis meets academic requirements and may be recommended for the class. So our next graduate, and the theme of your qualification paper is the development of a comprehensive system for assessment and validation of language skills. And your scientific advisor is PhD doctor Hajimeta Umida Pamagambetina.
So good afternoon, members of the Commission, Scientific Advisor, and guests. Today, I would like to present my bachelor qualification, and it says same is the development of a comprehensive system for the development of validation of language skills. So, in my presentation, I will discuss the concept of language assessment, its main principles like criteria, assessment of language validation procedures, practical recommendation, and the conclusion of my research. So, in introduction, language assessment language assessment plays an important role growing of language education. It helps research to learners' procedures and ability. So, for example, if a teacher wants to know whether students can communicate in English, but it's not enough. To check only grammar exercise. Students should Students should demonstrate speaking, listening, writing, and writing skills. So, therefore, a comprehensive assessment system is necessary. So, the aim of my research is that the aim of research was to investigate the theoretical foundation of language assessment and validation. So, for example, I examined how language skills can be assessed more accurately and how language can be interpreted correctly. And the main objects include studying assessment principles, quality criteria, language skills assessment, and validation procedures.
Procedure. Mhm.
So the concept of language assessment. Language assessment is a systematic process of collecting information about learners' language abilities. And for example, teachers may use quizzes, speaking tests, writing assignments, and classroom observation to assess students' progress. So assessment help identify students. Assessment help identify has a strange areas that need improvement. And to talk about the principles of assessment, a comprehensive assessment should be based on validity, fairness, and positive impact. For example, if a speaking test measure only pronunciation, it cannot full access, but it cannot access to speaking ability. And a valid speaking test should also evaluate fluency, vocabulary, and fluency in interaction. This example demonstrates this importance of validity. So you can see the assessment of reading skills. It can improve. It can be useful for students. For instance, reading assessment focus on learners' ability to understand writing text or summarize short answer question, and true false task matching readings, and also multiple choice questions helps to improve their reading skills. So next is listening skills. Listening assessment learners' ability to understand spoken language. For example, students may listen conversation and answer questions about information, and they hear. It's authentic reporting make assessment more realistic and reliable. For example, listening assessment measure learners' ability to understand spoken language. For example, common is a listening test is a note complication, multiple choice question, matching speakers, and short answers like that. And next is a speaking and writing skills. And speaking and writing skills are productive language skills. For example, in a speaking test, students may participate in an interview or discussion, and in a writing test may write an essay or letter or report. And teachers access fluency, confidence, grammar, vocabulary, and also task achievement. And speaking assessment test type is interviews, presentations, role play, discussion like that. In criteria is a fluency, pronunciation, vocabulary, interaction, and type of writing assessment is a essays. You can write essays, reports, letters and emails. And Designing assessment task is a assessment task should improve should correspond to learner's proficiency and learner objective. For example, B1 learner should be not given highly academic task designed for C1 learners. Appropriate task design help ensure fair and meaningful assessment. And you can see the effective assessment require careful planning. For example, rating criteria, skill coverage, task design,
Writing criteria.
criteria,
Mhm.
skill coverage, task design, construct definition, and assessment purpose and main components.
Mhm.
Validation procedures is a process of collecting evidence to support assessment results. For example, if a speaking test claims to access communication skills, validation should confirm that actually measure and communication rather than memorization. And this process increase confidence and assessment results.
Conclusion. Yes.
So to conclude, in conclusion, comprehensive assessment system is should evaluate all language skills, how principles, mobility, reliability, fairness, and practicality. And for example, when reading and speaking and writing are accessed together, teachers have a more complete picture of learners' ability, and therefore assessment contributes to more effective teaching and learning skills. And a comprehensive system improves teaching. Comprehensive system improves teaching and learning quality. So that's all.
Okay, thank you. Questions? Sorun benim mi böyle bir şey?
Which quality is important for speaking and writing skill? So it's reliability or relativity? Which one?
For instance, reliability.
Reliability. Why? Yes, reliability.
Yes, reliability. Because reliability, you can use different kinds of method, like as I said, like matching heating and short answer interviews. Improves the effective way to speaking skills. In writing skills, and usually it's used like write essays, emails to another person, and letter like that.
Thank you. Sorma. Nasıl mutlu?
Okay, your qualification work is concerning to assessment. What types of assessment do you know?
What types of assessment?
Assessment.
In assessment,
Types, diagnostic assessment, final assessment.
yes, final assessment.
Sırası var.
Midterm assessment. Continuous assessment. Final
Alfa,
assessment.
Jıvı, Ladve,
Final assessment.
Şıvı.
Akıcıkı.
These are types of assessment.
Olmaz. Şöyle bir. Thank you. Take your seat. Take your seat. Adadan şöyle bak. Şık 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 şık. Ya kana azada şabna. Şık azada.
So review for the environment mass qualification paper was given by PhD that's Wilson. Told us about how she has mentioned the bachelor's qualification paper meets academic standards and deserves a high quality assessment. The work is recommended for public defense. So our master with similar other symptoms and the same of your qualification paper is using a learner-centered approach to develop students' creativity in EFL classrooms. And your scientific advisor is PhD Associate Professor Attachment Firuza Dornfalna.
Good afternoon, respected Chairman, member of the Commission and Scientific Pleasure and Debate. I would like to talk about using a learner-centered approach to develop students' creativity in equal classrooms. The relevance of this research is connected with the needs of modern society. Today employs an educational instruction, growing creativity, critical thinking, communication, and the problems of this field. However, traditional teaching methods often focus on memorization and the teacher-centered instruction. As a result, students may have limited opportunities to express their ideas and develop creative thinking. For this reason, it is important to explore teaching methods that encourage creative and active learning. The learning-centered approach is considered one of the most effective ways to achieve this goal. Aim and the object.
Ручку бери.
The main aim of my research was to investigate how learner-centered approach can help develop creativity. To achieve this aim, I set several objectives to study the concept of creativity in education, to analyze the principles of learner-centered learning, to examine methods and strategies that foster creativity, to engage creativity foster, and thus to evaluate the effectiveness of these methods in practice. For this creativity, creativity is the ability to generate original ideas, find new solutions, and then think in innovative ways. Many research believe that creativity is not natural talent, but only some people possess. It is a skill that can be developed through education and then practice. Creative students are usually more flexible, curious, independent, and motivated. They are able to look at problems from different perspectives and find unique solutions. In modern education, creativity is considered one of the most important skills for future success. Learner-centered approach. Learner-centered approach places students at the center of learning process. In this approach, students are active participants rather than passive learners. The teacher acts as a facilitator and a guide instead of being the only source of knowledge. Students are encouraged to ask questions, share ideas, solve problems, and work collaboratively. This approach helps learners become more independent and responsible for their own learning. It also creates a positive environment where creative can develop naturally. Strategies for developing creativity. My research identified several effective strategies for developing creativity through learning and learning. These strategies include problem-based learning, project-based learning, peer-based learning, collaborative learning, technology interaction, robotic activities, and personalized learning. This methods encourage students to explore, experiment, and express their ideas clearly. They also help students develop confidence and critical thinking skills. Practical part of the research. The practical part of the research was conducted with 73 students. 21 students participated in the project. The main purpose was to observe how learners centered activities influence students' creativity and personal participation. There were some traditional teaching methods were effective in creating student-centered activities.
Conclusion. Conclusion.
In conclusion, based on the theoretical and the practical findings, it can be concluded that the learner-centered approach is an effective way to develop creativity. It encourages students to think independently, collaborate with others, solve problems, and express their original ideas. The research also shows that creativity can be developed when students learn in a cooperative and engaging environment. And therefore, learner-centered teaching methods should be used more actively in education, modern education.
Thank you.
What is the difference between learner-centered and teacher-centered approaches?
Learner-centered
Approach
Approach.
and teacher-centered approach.
places students at the center of learning, teaches students can help develop students' creativity.
The lectures or theoretical classes, are they teacher-centered or learner-centered classes? Lectures. Teacher, yes? Teacher-centered, because most part of the lesson usually is conducted by the teacher, by lecturer. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sid.
So review was given by PhD Associate Professor Robert Salvatore. The thesis is well organized, clearly written, and academically sound. The research objectives have been achieved, and the conclusions are consistent with the presented findings. Overall, the work represents a valuable contribution to the study of innovative approaches in foreign language education and the merits and positive assessment. So our next graduate, Amanmat Dira Urunbayoğlu, and his the name of his qualification paper is Analysis and Integration of Linguistic and Cultural Factors in the Translation of Spoken Language in Cinematography from English to Russian. And his scientific advisor is PhD assistant teacher Sevkan Varikar Monyazma.
Market analysis and integration of linguistic and cultural factors in the translation of spoken language in cinematography from English to Russian. This slide also provides information about audiovisual translation. First of all, audiovisual translation involves not only the transfer of spoken language, but also the adaptation of cultural and visual elements. And then this slide explains also why screen translation is important, highlighting its high dynamics, multimodal complexity, and the need for an integrated approach. This slide also explains about research methodology and framework. It defines object and subject of the research and outlines the main methods used in study, including theoretical analysis, constructive analysis, cross-cultural analysis, and quality assessment. Then, theoretical foundation on cinematic discourse. This section explains about theoretical foundation. Theoretical foundation, they are given for that. First one, acoustic verbal channel. This is spoken dialogue, voice-overs, and character-specific socialized registers. Second, acoustic non-verbal channels. Music, dynamic, sound effect, soundscapes, and prosodic speech elements. Third one, visual word channel. Visual word channel on screen textual information. First set, graphics, signs, embedded document, and subtitles. And last one, non-verbal channel. Non-verbal channel, actor expressions, audio gestures, lighting choice, and starting setting and costume. Next one, dubbing and subtitle methodologies. Definitely dubbing is dubbing requires synchronization actors with movements and usually follow domestic strategy, while subtitles limited by space and reading speed often more preserved and foreign culture elements. Then equivalence and flaws in screen translation. This slide discusses about equivalence and flaws in screen translation. According to Telford and Kohler, translation should achieve functional equivalence rather than literal correspondence. However, some degree of loss in inevitable because of temporal constraints and linguistic and cultural differences between languages. Then linguistic factors, phonological constraints. This slide discusses about phonological constraints in English Russian dubbing due to differences in vowel system, with movements, text lengths, and speech rhythm. Translators face significant challenges in network synchronization. This slide explains about lexical and grammatical transposition. It focuses on slang preservation, idiomatic adaptation, and grammatical difference between English and Russian, including word aspect and article usage. This session discusses about the role of registered dialect and socialite. Different English dialects, such as Cockney and Scottish, can be difficult to translate. Therefore, translators should use a natural conversion style. This section also explains explains that translators should not only translate the words, but also lip movements, text lengths, and hidden meaning, irony, and also emotion. This helps preserve the original message in the target language.
Conclusion. Their conclusion. Yeah.
By way of conclusion, audiovisual translation requires both linguistic and cultural adaptation. Translated education should focus more on spoken language and audiovisual materials. My presentation comes to an end. Thank you.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Yeah, of course.
So, question is like, what is cinematic discourse? Yes. What is cinematic?
Yeah. Cinematic.
Main topic. So, okay. The second question, what is the difference between verbal and non-verbal channel?
You know verbal and non-verbal?
Verbal and non-verbal channel. You mentioned it in your
Presentation, yeah.
About acoustic and
Yeah. Back. Verbal and non-verbal. Презентацияны айттым жазы. Verbal, yes. This one.
Actor expression, physical body gestures, lighting choice, structural settings, and
It is verbal. This is verbal.
non-verbal.
Non-verbal. What about verbal?
Verbal on screen, textual information, person graphics, signs, embedded documents, and subtitles.
What is taboo language?
Taboo language, definitely in Russia, some words can be used in public media, and these words also don't enter the translation. And taboo language and stereotypes of
Thank you. Thank you. Take a seat. King, собой утро, я шматер.
No, like sleep. Это фирма.
Кофе şiş var değil mi? Ha, şiş kofi var değil mi? Yok.
So review for amendment, Gerald's qualification paper was given by PhD Associate Professor Virginia Unida. The bachelor's qualification paper reflects also understanding of current language teaching methodologies and demonstrates sufficient research competence. The work satisfies academic standards for a bachelor's degree thesis and deserves a high positive assessment. So our next graduate, Jumabayeva Aynura Bayramlar, and the theme of your qualification paper is structural and semantic analysis of numerical components in the English phraseological foundation, cognitive aspects and research prospects. And your scientific advisor is Huzamar Damir Ibrahimovic, PhD docent.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about my presentation communication paper entitled The Structural and Semantic Analysis of Numerical Components in the English Physiological Foundation and Cognitive Aspects and Research Aspects.
Begin.
Why I choose this topic? People use numbers before they have writing. Numbers feel very logical and exact. Numbers are among the most ancient and most universal of human symbol systems. Long before writing was invented, human communities developing ways of counting, measuring, and recording quantities. Carving tally marks on bone, using pebbles on counters, or deploying those marks as illumination tools. From the earliest recorded human cultures, uh, specific numbers have accurate symbolic, musical, religious, and aesthetic significance that goes far beyond their mathematical properties. Then, English has hundreds of fixed expressions with a number inside. For example, two kids are better than one, on cloud nine, at six and sevens, dressed to the nines, 19 to the thousands, to put two and two together. And why is this? My thesis studies these expressions, their grammar, their hidden meaning, and the cultural story behind each number. And next page is aim of my research. The aim of my research is to study the structure and meaning of numerical phrases in English, to connect their to explain the cognitive reasons behind their meaning and to compare them with current phrases. Numerical phrases are an especially important subject of English phraseology because they are pervasive and highly idiomatic. Spoken and written English, they are highly idiomatic. Their meanings cannot be predicted from their literal meanings of their component words. And they present specific challenges for learners whose native learners have different numerical symbolism and different conventions for number used in fixed expressions. To reach this aim, I work on four groups on tasks. First one is theory, structure, meaning, and comparison. The structure, this theory, studies the story of phraseology and find the whys of number in it. And structure, analysis of grammar patterns of English numerical phrases and meaning. Explain how these phrases get their meaning, semantic, and cognition. The last one is comparison. Compare English with Kannada and suggest ways to teach the topic.
Second chapter, please. Practical part. Next page. Oh, this one, yes.
What is a phrasing? Phraseology studies fixed word groups, words that are struggle together like one unit. Phraseology, as a branch of linguistics, is concerned with the study of structure, fixed and semi-fixed multiple expressions, units of language. The Russians have a phraseological tradition associated above all with Victor Innerlater, 1946 and 1947, who divided phrases into three types: fusions, united, and collocations. Fusions meaning is fully heightened. We cannot guess there from the words. For example, kick the bucket means like and spill the beans. Reveal a secret. Vertically means a misleading clue, and nice meaning is heightened, but we can feel the image behind it. Birds once courageous. This means somebody's have difficulty situation and have a problem. Keep one seat about water, about financial difficulty, to be in a same boat, to share the same difficult situation. And meaning is clear, but meaning communication's meaning is clear, but the word is clear, fixed by habit. And take a decision, not do a decision. Commit a crime, not do or make a crime. Keep your rain, not strong relation.
Chapter 2, please. Original chapter.
Hold slide.
English and parallel numbers. Parallel phraseology documented in the fundamental reference works as I-method 1965 and in the collocations of non-method 1997 and others rich phrases with numerical components. Three, for example, in our culture, should I to say three times, to perform an action with full seriousness and finality, by analogy with the Islamic practice or repeating formula three times. Then, show us three combinations, the minimum for journey or an enterprise. Seven, parallel phraseology. Seven carries strong positive associations in parallel culture appear frequently in folk narrative and proverb. For example, Jeta atası seven generations of ancestors. The traditional parallel genealogical memory extending back seven generations as a minimum of family knowledge. Then, Jeta kader, seven steps, the probable distance of good luck or protection.
Conclusion. Conclusion.
In conclusion, the metaphor motivates expressions like on cloud nine at highest possible level of happiness, and we use numbers. We don't use numbers only for counting, but in our use in daily lives. And meaning comes from three sources: full idiomatization or cultural history. The number 1, 2, and 3 is the most phrases in English. The research can help build better teaching materials for parallel learners for English.
Thank you.
So what's the difference between collocation and the idioms?
Collocation idioms. In English, there is a highly idiomatic expressions like two hits are better than one. Two big hits than one. On cloud nine. On cloud 19 to the dozens and full numbers.
Collocations.
So collocation?
Collocation.
Numbers.
Fixed words. Quotations. TV redirect olacak.
Here, give you 100%, it's easily worse than others.
Can you tell me the example for things with numerical components? You have mentioned about these points in your work, like things and with numerical components. So can you tell me the example for this one? Things with numerical components.
Back.
Examples.
Just example.
Yeah, just examples.
So,
For example, on cloud 9 means very happy and synonyms over the moon, and somebody's attractiveness people in somewhere.
Next. That's all. Come.
On the presentation, you have mentioned one example, fix the bucket. What is here numerical phrasing in this example? This number,
Kick the bucket.
fix the bucket.
You have such kind of
So
examples.
on cloud 9, we got 9. Now, number 1, priority, we got 1. But with this example, we don't have any kind of number. Fix the bucket. But you have even some details about it.
Yeah. In your presentation after. Kick the bucket. What?
Vinogradiv phrases in three types: fusion, united, collocation, and fusions means heightened